I'm a trendsetter in the way that I create clothing that make you feel powerful and stunning, but it's still something you'll be able to wear 5 years from now. My inspiration was always about how to make clothing.
I am so thrilled because our special guest today is the queen of fashion.
She got so upset at me that she gave me an F and flunked me on my sewing class
Oh, no.
and told me that I would never ever make it in the fashion world. We build relationships with our client. Where are you going to go with this? What are you going to do? What's your lifestyle like? What do you do every day? How do you hold hands? Getting to know my client is how I've been able to build these beautiful relationships with each one of them.
Well, happy holidays, Slay family. Today is going to be really fun. Sometimes we talk about things that are very serious in here. Sometimes we have inspirational times, but this is going to be just a chance for us to celebrate and have some fun for the holidays. I am so thrilled because our special guest today is the queen of fashion. That's what I like to call her. She is tuning in from Washington, D.C. So, Raiza, first and foremost, welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
My pleasure. And today I'm going to share with you a little bit about her journey and what she's doing. Raiza is the CEO of the Capital Tailor, and she is also the designer for Despampanante. I hopefully said that
Right.
Despampanante.
Despampanante. Good
And
job.
that is an incredible line that designs beautiful clothing. So, what I want to do is have everybody today learn two things. One, about your exciting journey as an entrepreneur, because all entrepreneurs can relate to that. And second is to learn about your fabulous fashion, which I have been stalking and watching online for such a long time. So, let's start off at the very beginning. I met Raiza 15 years ago, and we would see each other at events, and she was dressed to the nines. Every time I saw her, the best dressed woman I've ever seen. So we got chatting, and way back then, she had a dream to pursue a career in fashion. So can you take a minute and tell everybody where that came from? What was your interest, or what sparked you to love fashion?
I think I was born fashionable. I know it sounds really cocky right now, but I've been looking at little photos of me when I was a little girl, and I go, oh my gosh, look at me. I'm from Dominican Republic. It's hot there, the tropics. But if you see my photos, you'll see me wearing a three-piece suit or some white boots and little shorts with the little vest. And I was the queen of fashion at that age, All the little girls used to look at me. I had my purse, I had all my jewelry. I'm talking 5 years old. So I've always loved fashion. The first time I remember going to a seamstress, I told my grandmother the color of dress that I wanted, how I wanted to style it. She took me to buy the fabric, and I told the lady how to make that dress. So I
Wow.
think that was my first design, and I must have been about 6 years old when I started doing that and asking for them to make clothes that I would think about. And I wanted them made for my dolls and for me. I've always loved fashion.
Mm.
And it just inspired me. I went into modeling because of fashion. So I really started the career in the modeling world, but my inspiration was always about how to make clothing.
Excellent. So now over the years, you have journeyed and started your own clothing line. And can you tell everybody where you're located and a little bit about the line and the style of clothing that you provide for people?
Well, I like to say that I'm everywhere
You are
because you
everywhere.
can reach me. You can reach me everywhere now. But our company is based out of Washington, D.C. We have an office on I Street downtown, just a few blocks from the White House, and we have one in Rockville, Maryland. And it's by appointment. It's very intimate. I've tried many ways of doing my business, and I have found this to be the best way. So have that intimate relationship with our customers. Um, the way you can reach me is through my website. You can also call, you can do virtual appointments. And the way that I am everywhere is through virtual appointments. You literally can set up an appointment to talk with me directly, and we'll get online just like we are today.
And I followed a lot of your social media, which has shown some of the fashion. Tell everybody a little bit about some of the clothing that you like to focus on, because, there's some people have suits, some people have gowns, some people are doing athletic wear out in the fashion world. What are the things that the Capital Tailor and your company are known for?
Known for. Thanks for saying that, because we can do anything, but it's practical, elegant clothing. we make timeless clothing that you'll be able to wear all the time. I'm a trendsetter in the way that I create clothing that makes you feel powerful and stunning, but it's still something you'll be able to wear 5 years from now. It's those pieces that you'll take out. I'm wearing one now. I'm wearing this satin tuxedo that's never going to go out of style, ever. So we are known for tailored clothing. We can make any tailored clothing, suits, but we can also make gala dresses too. It's just that we really, really are known for those powerful suits that we've been making since 2015.
And can you tell everybody, since you're the designer, what Despampanante means for those who don't speak Spanish?
Despampanante means stunning. So it's stunning suits for powerful people.
Fantastic. And you do clothing for both men and women.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And I think you even had a couple little experiences in the pageant world too. Can you share that with us?
Yes, that happened organically, literally. In our business, when you start a business, you have to find ways to make that dream come true with other ways. So we also did alterations. And one of the pageant participants for Miss Earth contacted us about redesigning her dress. She said, I love this dress, but something doesn't fit right, and I want to have it redesigned. So we took that dress and made it somewhat different, kept the style somewhat, but made it so that she could wear it. It really looked like it was made for her now. And she loved it. And from that point on, she said, I want you to make me my suits. I want you to make me my clothes. And from that point on, she introduced me to other pageant girls, and they come to us for their interview suits or for their gala, dresses. It's great. It's really exciting when I see my outfits out there.
It's got to be amazing. And I've just had so much fun watching you. And you have fashion shows and a lot of different ways people can see you on social media to get a taste of your clothing. But one of the things I'd love for you to talk about is part of your journey as an entrepreneur is you have a family business, and maybe mention your husband and what he does, and your son who's now modeling as well. You want to share with everybody how you've made it a family venture?
It's such a story, Leanne.
It is. I want you to tell everybody.
It's such a story. When I was in high school, I have to go back there. I'll be quick. But when I was in high school, my senior year, I was modeling, and I knew I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I would carry around with me this journal. In that journal, I would jot down, my designs. Barbie was my first model. I had to, I didn't know how to sew in a machine, but I knew how to hand sew. So I would make all my samples small enough for a Barbie doll, and I would make them and I would draw them, and it was great. Then my sewing teacher asked me to be a model for her at a competition that I was already a model for another group, and I had to decline her offer. She got so upset at me that she gave me an F and flunked me on my sewing class.
Oh, no.
And told me that I would never, ever make it in the fashion world.
Now, right there, before we go any further, that's a lesson for all your entrepreneurial listeners and friends and everyone we've got out there. If you're an entrepreneur and someone has not told you that you wouldn't make it yet, you just haven't had enough time and experience, because somebody is going to tell you you'll never make it. No
That's
matter
right.
what entrepreneurial thing you're doing.
Yes, that's right.
That's when you're really in the running. Once you've had somebody tell you you have no shot, forget about it.
You're
Then
never going to make it. Okay, so
now I'm really in the race.
well, I thought, I have to get into college. You're not going to get into fashion college with a flunking that class. There's no way, right? So I went into college anyway, but I went into finance. And I ended up in finance. I was a banker, wealth manager. I went all in, like all in. But always my heart and soul, my fashion was inside me. I would, even at work, people thought I was wearing different outfits every day. No, I just styled them differently, but they swore I was the fashion queen. And eventually, life changed. I remarried, and I happened to remarry a master tailor, designer. Yes, my husband, Ramon Mejia. So I had met him, another long love story, back when we were teenagers, we used to date. So full circle, now we are married, and he moves from one country to the US just to be here with me. And we start, a business tailoring for the Border Patrol and other armed forces. We were designing bulletproof carrier vests for them, and that was fun. So that's where I started retaking the redesign by actually going to see how they did what they did and going to their training camps and watching them is how both of us would start designing their actual vests for them to wear. So that was great and that was fun, but it wasn't fashion. It was just practical, you know? And we went on and I helped him build a couple of different brands. I was a corporate head now, I wasn't into my fashion. I was more into financing. So I helped him build a couple of brands. Going forward, we met you at another business and we had a lot of fun doing that.
Yes.
And then, you know that during those years, 2010, I designed the suits for all the Latinos in that company.
Did you really? No
We
wonder
went to
y'all look so good.
we went to an event and I was wearing navy and yellow on purpose. And I was one of the speakers and I announced that I was designing a suit for all the Latinos, regardless of what group they were in, so that we can identify ourselves. And I remember that even some other officials were wearing our suits after that. And
I
it was an
remember
amazing.
that. Yes, yes. I've introduced you to some very successful people, and I noticed that they're wearing your clothes.
And that was great because that sparked that design in me again.
Yes.
And I looked at my husband and I said, your craft is so beautiful because he sews. And I never got the chance to learn how to sew in the machine because of that past experience.
Yeah.
But then I realized I don't need to. I love it and he can make it. So I'm going to start making creations and I'm going to start designing and I just want you to make them. And so he did. And we started making clothes for ourselves. We started making clothes for the kids. We started making outfits together and having fun. And eventually, I just decided I wanted to change my life. I wanted to leave corporate America. I wanted to leave the finance world. And I put it in prayer. I wanted to be the boss. That was my goal. I want to
Yes.
be the boss.
Okay, wait. So first we did step one, which is someone has to tell you you'll never make it. Now we're
Yes,
at
you got it.
step two. You have to start praying because that's all part of the process.
You got
Also,
it.
being an entrepreneur.
You have to pray. You have to put it there. And I did, I know I wanted a change, but I wanted it to be fulfilling for me. I said, I can start from zero and I can decide whatever I want. What do I want to do? If I'm going to make the effort and I'm going to invest the time and I'm going to invest myself, like I have all the time, I've always tried to be excellent and go 1,000%. I want to do it for me. And if it's for me, what do I want to do? And I just realized, I'm like, I'm not 20 anymore. There's a song, by the way, that goes with that. I'm not 20 anymore. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. What is it? And Leanne, believe it or not, at the beginning, because so many years have gone by, I couldn't pinpoint what it was that I wanted to do for me.
Mm.
At first, I was like a limbo, like this or that or this or that. And I remember when my husband one day came in talking about the gap in the industry and fashion, and I just light up when we talk about fashion. And it was like God talking to me, going, hello, hello, I'm sending you the message. And I realized, I said, I need to do this for me. This is what I need to do. It's right in front of me. I can build a fashion brand. I have my husband that's great at his craft in sewing. I have the passion in fashion. Ooh, that rhymed. And I have the know-how in business. So it just all got to put it all together and said, we're starting a fashion brand and we're doing this together. Would you do this with me? And he never says no to me. So he just said yes. And so I started the Capital Tailor. And I did it in a sense where I wanted to provide clothing as a business that will generate revenue, not just a dream, because I want to fuel my dream with income, you know. I want to be able to do whatever fashion for whatever reason without caring about the money coming in. But in order to do that, I need to have the other side that is having money coming in because I have a family. I have two boys. I have 5 kids, but at this point,
That's
I'm still
crazy.
raising 2 out of those 5.
Yes.
It's crazy. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to put myself 100% in. It has to give me income and I can need to be able to generate my dream at the same time. So the first thing I thought of was corporate America, Washington, D.C., suits. That's what we do anyway. Let's make amazing suits. Now, Washington, D.C., there isn't a lot of fashion. And I mean that it's not like Paris or New York,
No.
that it's not flamboyant. But you definitely have a lot of people wearing suits. So we started a clothing brand for custom suits made to measure, tailored to your measurement. And what makes us different is that we guarantee that fit no matter what. It has to fit you perfect or we do it again.
Mm,
And there's no question.
that's remarkable.
We also give them alterations because a lot of people would tell me, I have to lose weight first. I have to gain this. I have to do that. I would say, don't worry. For the next year and a half, if you lose weight, we're going to alter that for you as many times as we have to keep you happy and looking good on us. So they appreciate that you have someone that's going to continue to make sure you look wonderful all the time. And we build relationships with our clients. Like I sit down and I don't just sell them a suit or make them a suit. I talk about it. Where are you going to go with this? What are you going to do? What's your lifestyle like? What do you do every day? How do you hold hands? How do you hug people? How do you do this? How do you move? You name it. I make them really tell me all this stuff, because then I can see their personality when we're going through this. I tell them about my family and I ask them about theirs, and getting to know my client is how I've been able to build these beautiful relationships with each one of them, that they keep coming back to us every time they even think of clothing anymore. So it's been a great ride.
It's amazing. And, I remember you talking about it, and then I remember you starting to make clothes, and then I remember when you opened up your first location, and that I've just been watching you over the years. And I really want to encourage people. It's just fun to watch your social media. So can
Oh,
you take a second? It is. I'm sorry, but it is. If you like fashion, you have to follow her. So can you take a second and share your social media so people
yes.
can hear? And there will be people who are still watching this, and there'll be people who listening. So you might need to spell out whatever you want to spell out too.
It's my full name and last name, Raiza Bonaparte. That's it.
Very easy. And
That's
Raiza
my
is
handle. I'm going to spell it out.
RAIZA.
Yes. Raiz, like zebra A, Bonaparte, like Napoleon, Bonaparte. Raiza Bonaparte.
And
That's how you find me on all the social medias.
and as your business has grown, your children have too. And
Yes.
one of them I see constantly modeling. So you get a free mom's bragger moment here if you would like to.
We started the business, the Capital Tailor Inc. in Georgetown in 2018. And when I did that, we went from being at home or working from home. Our kids have always had either one of the other parent at home. Okay. We went to both having to go to the store every day, and I decided homeschool was the way to go. So we started homeschooling our kids. They've been part of this experience from the very beginning. So they're to the
Amazing.
point that they're part of our team. Every single day they put a little some time into the business. One of them uh, was being bullied in school, but he was one of the tall kids. He was one of the very great kids, but always bullied to the point that he started being more self. It wasn't that he was insecure of himself. It was more of he wasn't sure if he was behaving correctly himself. So he started being more quiet, et cetera, et cetera. And he's the one that's the light of our family. He laughed at everything. He had a great personality. And just suddenly, slowly, this experience of being bullied was starting to put that little fire out slowly. We started homeschooling. We started working in the business. He started, socializing with mature people, customers, et cetera. And then I said, I need models. And he was growing up perfectly. So we started using him as a model at the store. And then during the pandemic, we're all closed up. I gave him options of what things would you like to do during the pandemic? We're going to keep you busy. So we decided on modeling class and acting class for both of them, and they did great. And then they called me from another school and they wanted to have him audition for a competition. And he's the only one that said yes. He said, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, great. Because, we have to register you. The other one's like, no, that's okay. I'll do whatever you want because you asked me to, but I'll pass. I have great kids. They do have a hard time saying no to me. But Ramon said, I absolutely want to do it. And so we went to an international event in New York that happens once a year, and they compete with about 1,000 other people. And he won 9 medals. 6 of them
Amazing.
were in modeling, and the rest were in acting. And he got called back from about 12 different agents callbacks. So instead of us having to go find people that would want to represent him, we were having to choose who we want to have him represented by. So it's been a great experience to have him work with us.
Mm.
And just to see him flourish out of that other experience into a very secure young man. And he's
Yes.
very, very secure of himself, not in the cocky way. He's so humble. He's so sweet. He looks cocky, but he's not. He's just a
He's just
model.
got swagger. That's it. You know, he's got a little
He's
swagger. You're
got it.
supposed to have that.
So I get a free model now, and it's an experience that we're all living. We're loving every minute of it. We like the fact that working together has given them that exposure, self-confidence as well. I think my kids are very self-confident because of all the things that every time we do something, we do it with them alongside us. That's how you know them too. You
Yes.
know?
And they've got to see you start a business, grow a business, tackle a pandemic, come back out of the business and flourish again. And
Yes.
the lessons that you're providing for them, you know, to pursue their dreams are incredible. So before we wrap up, I have to ask you one question. You've had all this great things, all these great things happen, all the success, your business is booming. So what is the dream? If you were to go, okay, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, or whatever it is there anything that you would love to accomplish that would be really exciting or inspiring for you?
The other day somebody asked me something similar, and I responded, I want to be the next Chanel. And they looked at me and they said,
Nice.
you are, but you're Raiza. So I want to be seen as a staple, like something that you look up to that was worth it, have meaning.
Mm,
I mean, I want to be purposeful. I want you to think of me, and not just in clothing, but purpose, inspiration. That's what I want to be thought of in a
well,
timeless way.
I know you're going to do it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. So thank you so much for taking time to share your journey and your fashion fun today. I really appreciate it.
I'm
And
so glad you had me here. I'm so happy to see you.
oh,
Thank
so
you.
good to see you. It's been so long. And so again, if you want to follow her on social media, it's a blast. It's at Raiza Bonaparte on everything, but I just call her Raiza. And it's just because, you know, Chanel, Raiza, Madonna, you know, Cher.
Ooh,
People, you only need one name. I'm just saying. But I really appreciate best to your family. And if you happen to be somebody who's around the Maryland, DC area, you can always make an appointment. But as she said, she does take virtual appointments and do a lot of this long distance. Do you want to give out your website too before we wrap up,
absolutely. You
please?
can also follow the social media for the Capital Tailor, which is the Capital Tailor Inc. You can find that in Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We also have a website, www.thecapitaltailor.com. The capital with an A. I
Excellent.
have to say that.
Great. Well,
It was
thank you
great being
so
here
much.
so much. Thank
And
you.
happy holidays. Best to Ramon and your fabulous children. So nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely. And everybody, thank you for being here, and we wish you a fantastic, safe, and wonderful holiday season. Take care.